guy. Okay, he's very funny. Go back to McCarthy, yeah!
Everything now, here we go. It's good to be here. I am from Melbourne. I'm one of the pretentious latte sipping cunts that you just want to know. That's me. And so, well, I actually prefer a flat white with oat milk if you've got it. Yeah, otherwise, I guess soy will do. It's good to be here, man. This is my vibe. This is it. This is what it's going to be. I kind of look like Harry Potter if he dropped out of Hogwarts. And got a job at JB Hi-Fi. It's good to be here, man. I've been having a rough time recently. My housemate's just got a Ouija board, so yeah. So now I got to fucking move. Just welcome to my life. $200 they spent on this fucking Ouija board as well. $200. That's too much money, right? It's just like a plank of wood with some symbols and shit like etched into it. You know what I mean? Like if I was going to spend that much money to be scared in a candlelit room, I would just get a Thai massage and tell them to go in. All of us. I just think there's like an inherent flaw in their logic as well, you know, because they're just happy to meet any ghost. Do you know what I mean? Like in their mind, all ghosts are interesting, which that can't possibly be true because ghosts are just dead people, and most people suck. Do you know what I mean? It's like, sure, you might get like a 16th century prince who was slain like a passionate crime, you know, but you might also just get like a 20-year-old philosophy student who just took one too many unprescribed Adderall. Fuck that, dude. Imagine you drop $200 on a Ouija board, you spend like a few hours in like a dark room, you finally make contact with a ghost, you're like, fuck yeah, this is sick. Hey man, how did you die? And he's just like, oh. Well, it actually depends on like how you define death. Shut up, cunt. I wish you would come back to us so you could kill yourself. Next ghost. It's been good though. I don't know, it's been good. I've been like traveling around the last month or so now that Melbourne's opened up, and you guys have fucked it for me, but that's alright. Yeah, I was in Canberra before this. I was visiting my mum, which was nice. I worry about my mum sometimes, like 'cause my mum, she's been like a single mum since I was a little kid, right? And she lives in Canberra by herself, and she recently turned 60. And it kind of feels like she's sort of given up on the idea of dating, on the idea of finding someone, you know? Which, right, if you want to fuck my mum, honestly, you can. I don't know, I think like on an inherent level, like it does seem kind of sad, but the more I think about it, the more I think it's actually just like a nice, like liberating decision that I think she's made for herself, you know? Because I think what's actually happened is my mum just looked around at all the single 60-year-old dudes and just gone, yeah, I'm gonna sit this one out. Do you know what I mean? There's only like 4 reasons that a 60-year-old dude would be single, and dead wife is the best one. And he goes like, dead wife, fresh out of prison, scarred from a war, and my next wife hasn't been born yet. That's it. Well, those are all the reasons. I've been thinking a lot about like my childhood and shit recently, like, because my dad was a con artist, which I guess would be kind of cool if he was good at it, but he got caught, so he's a fucking loser. Honestly, a white-collar criminal, that's the most boring kind. Oh, you must have some super interesting stories from your time in minimum security prison. I don't know, but I've been thinking about it a lot because I haven't spoken to him since I was a little kid, right? So that's like all I really know about him, you know? And I think like as an adult, I'm just sort of coming to terms with the fact that that's all I ever will know, because I can't find anything else out about him now, you know what I mean? Because now I'm like a 24-year-old white dude, so I can't just like ask people, do you know what I mean? Like if I ask you like, hey, do you know who my father is? That sounds like a threat. You're like, I don't know, man, just pay for the coffee. I don't care about your shit. I don't know. I've been thinking about it though, because this is what I reckon. I think if you're a white dude, but you grew up without a dad, then the privilege shouldn't count. Because no one taught me how to use it. that it's there, like it's definitely there, but I think of it as like IKEA privilege, you know? It's like yeah, like all the parts are definitely there in the box, but the screws are missing. And the instructions are in prison. What am I supposed to do? Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not saying it's not there, but I'm just saying like, this is what it feels like. It feels like someone handed me like a Spider-Man suit, but then like none of the powers. You know what I mean? They were just like, here you go, man. Congratulations, you're Spider-Man. And I'm like, all right, cool. What do I do? And immediately they're just like, I don't know. You got the suit. Figure it out, cunt. And now I'm just standing in the middle of the street, just like. Turns out that this is like a new white power symbol I didn't know about. You know, on the front page of every newspaper, like, is Spider-Man cancelled? Like, I don't know, man, I'm just trying to catch the Green Goblin. Everyone's like, oh, you can't say that. I don't know why, but it feels wrong. I know that I definitely am privileged. I'm definitely privileged. I know that because I've dropped out of university. That's like the most privileged thing you can do. Because that means that I had like all of the support and resources to get into university, and then just the blind arrogance to be like, I don't really need this. And not just one time either. Anyone want to guess how many times I dropped out of university? 3? 3? More than that. 69? It's 5 times. It's 5 times. I've dropped out of university 5 times. That's too many. 4 too many if you ask my mom. I don't know, man. It's like, I finished 1 semester and I was so proud of myself I took the next 2 years off. Like, that's how little self-discipline I had. Like, the first day the tutor was like, alright, let's start off with something fun and easy. This is fun, let's guess this. I've not just, it's not like a challenging degree I've dropped out of. I've dropped out of 5 different creative writing degrees. That's an important piece of context for the bit that I just railed into before, so. That's it. It's like the first day the professor was like, alright, let's start with something easy, just write us a haiku about your favourite animal. And I was like, alright, ease up, professor. I'm not trying to be a doctor. I honestly feel like uni's a bit of a scam, that's what I think. I think there's like 3 professions that you need it for, everyone else stop going. It's a fucking Ponzi scheme. Dude, my first semester of university, I had to pay $80 for a textbook that was written by the tutor. I'm not even convinced it was a textbook. I think it was just like a romance novel he was writing on. I needed some funding. Dude, like, we couldn't even buy it from the bookshop. We just had to follow him to his car after class. He'd pop over the book. Coming out of lockdown in Melbourne's been weird. I know you guys don't give a shit, but it was hard. It was weird, man, because we were fucking locked in for so long, right? And like when shit finally started opening up, like how I conducted myself, like socializing, like just completely, it was like so fucked. Like the first week I was just hanging out with anyone who would ask, you know? Like one of the first days I just got dinner with an ex. And that's the correct reaction, it was not good, it wasn't a good time. Dude, like catching up with an ex, it weirdly feels very similar to going home to visit your parents, you know? Because like you have to look like you're doing well, right? But like not well enough that they ask for the money you owe them. It's a fine line. It was rough, man. Because it was awkward, but it was like fine. And like the whole time I was just like remembering the main reason we broke up, which was just that she was way hotter than me. And that was just like too much pressure for me, you know what I mean? Like I felt like how I imagine like a gym teacher feels doing relief for like a trigonometry class, you know? Just like, I do not know how I got here, but I do not have a lesson plan. At this point, I'm just naming shapes. You know? And I don't know, this is the weird thing, right, is that every time we were hanging out together, I felt like I could see the gears turning in other people's heads, just like trying to figure out like what our relationship is, you know? Like if we're walking down the street, I can see someone walking towards us, just looking very confused. And then just that eureka moment where they're like, oh, yeah, they've clearly been forced to do a uni assignment together. And that kind of is not pulling his way. I'll give him 2 more weeks. I don't know. I don't want you guys to think I'm being like hard on myself either. Like I don't think I'm ugly. I'm just saying like I know where I stand. You know what I mean? I'm a solid 6 out of 10. I know that. I get it. You know what I mean? Like I could never be like a high-end model, but I could maybe be like a mascot for vegan ham. I'm okay with that. There was this other like weird masculine trend I picked up on as well. Where, like I feel like whenever a dude sees another dude with someone like more attractive than them, their first reaction is to get like angry about it. Sort of just like so mad, just like their tiny caveman brain can't comprehend that maybe I have like a nice personality, you know, or like a cool dick. You know what I mean? And I do. I've got a cool dick. I'm not gonna get it out, dude. Not for free. I can describe it for you. It's not like a big dick, you know. It's just like a cool dick. You know? Like it's like. It's what the fuck does that mean? Is that what you want? You want a dad dick? Shut the fuck up. Shh. I got big balls. Fuck, I forgot what I was saying. No, man, this is what I spent most of the relationship just like trying to figure out what the deal is. Like, I was just trying to figure out like why she was hanging out with me. And I think I got to the bottom of it. I think this is it. I think she's just smart, right? I think she knows that if she dates someone uglier than her, then I just have to make an effort. Do you know, like that's the only option. Right, like an ugly boyfriend can't be late to dinner. It's not an option that you have. But there's a clear formula. You get 5 minutes leeway for every visible ab in your body. That's how it works. I'm not very good at math, so I was just 30 minutes early to everything. Just screwing punches under the table. I think it's true though, man. I think that's a fact. I think ugly guys try harder. In fact, this is what I think. I think if you're a straight woman, you should always date someone uglier than you because you'll definitely get to come. Do you know what? I'm not saying I'm particularly skilled, I'm just saying I am fucking determined. I'm like the short kid on a basketball team. Like what I lack in skill, I make up for in aggressive team spirit. I gotta stop doing this fucking joke, man. Honestly, my worst fear right now is that one day an ex is gonna rock up to a set and they're gonna see that shit and they're gonna have some shit to say. I'm gonna be the first ever male comedian to get a hashtag me neither.